Yo, what's going on, guys? So today the MG82 just got nerfed, and the nerf is going to make it to where it's going to have a lot more recoil. It's still going to have a good time to kill, but I don't think it's going to be the meta anymore. Even while the MG82 is in its prime, I was still using this gun, and now that it's nerfed, I think the Fara is 100% going to take its spot in the meta. So I'm going to show you guys the build. Now, I'm not exaggerating at all when I say this. This gun has the recoil of a kilo and the time to kill of the old AMAX. So this thing doesn't move, it kills super quick. You're getting the best of both worlds. One thing to note is I'm using the Grew Elastic Wrap for ADS speed. Since you don't need an underbarrel, this thing already doesn't move. And in the gameplay, I'm going to be using a 45 round speed since it's solos, but I recommend the 60 round just because you're going to need more than 45 to kill more than one person. Really quick, I want to show you the secondary I was also using in this gameplay. It's the Cold War MP5, pretty standard build. One thing to note is the blueprint I'm using gives me a little bit better iron sights. They're a little more open and clear. As always, I'm going to break down the gameplay and show you guys how I got a high kill game with this thing, while also beating out one of the most broken weapons in Warzone. Okay, so getting into the game, this is a solos, so my strategy still hasn't changed. I'm still going to be going for a vehicle off the rip, and then trying to frag out from there. So I landed at dealership, where there's a bounty and a jeep, so it's pretty much a perfect land for me. I'm going to be able to grab the bounty, and then hunt him down with the jeep. Now my bounty was at super. I guess he got a little scared because he took the jeep front super, and he drove literally to the other side of the map. But I chase him down because I'm a little stubborn. So we're going to bait him to peek us out using our jeep. So we kind of just drive around in circles like an idiot, wait for him to peek us. We see him right there behind the jeep. So I get out, use the vehicle as cover, kind of snake it, and we're able to get that kill. So from the bounty, I got my loadout and I got a UAV. So I see this player on the train. So I drive up on the highway to get high ground on him. And now all I have to do is look down, wait for the train to drive out and expose him, and I'll be able to get free shots onto him. Right there, and we get that kill. So now I'm driving towards this bounty since I'm pretty broke and I need money for UAVs, but we saw fighting in front of us. So I seat swap this guy is just running out. He wasn't expecting it, and the player behind me hops out. So it's kind of important that I seat swap since this guy would have got shots on me if I didn't. But we seat swap this guy since he was running back to his car. And in a second, we're going to see somebody gliding from downtown. We see him right there. So I'm going to be hunting him down with the vehicle as well. So it takes me a little bit of a second to spot him. I didn't think he was able to glide all the way up here, but he ended up making it up here. We see him right there behind the tree, and again, we're going to be using the vehicle trick where we hop out. He's still looking at the vehicle, so we shoot him in the side. So now I spotted a player to my northeast. He's right by the rock, and this is going to be an example of one of the things you can do to make this vehicle trick even better. So I'm driving by him, and now I'm waiting for him to start shooting me. Right as he starts shooting me, I hop out because when he's shooting, he's going to be really tunnel vision onto the vehicle. So now I'm driving up to this bounty since obviously I need money for more UAVs and stuff. He ends up being in the airfield to my right, so he's got a vehicle. And we see him driving right here, and this is going to be one more of those situations where you kind of have to hit your shots. I was able to miss a whole bunch of shots right there, but we still got that kill. Now I'm driving up to this Most Wanted, and honestly I don't know why so many people love Most Wanted in solos. I think it's just because they're like, oh, I'm going to camp anyway, so I might as well grab this. But we bait him to peek us, and we get some free shots on him. Generally, these Most Wanteds aren't going to be the best players, but they're pretty much going to be baiting you to push their staircase. You know, he's probably got claymores on his staircase with the street sweeper, and if you push that, you're pretty much dead. So I push up the other building. That way I can get some shots on him from a little bit of distance, and we get that kill. So now I'm coming up on this area, which has a whole bunch of players on the UAV. I see a guy in gas to my right, and now I see a buggy trailing behind me. So I'm also going to hear shots to my left. So since the buggy's behind me, I'm pretty much forced to seat swap this guy to kind of be safe in my vehicle, or else that guy would have hopped out and just shot me. Now you're going to see this guy also kind of is a good player. He tries to seat swap me, but he misses a whole bunch of shots. So I hop out, and since he missed all those shots, he's in a reload animation, so we're able to get the kill pretty easily. Now we didn't forget about this guy in gas station, so I'm going to be trying to get him to peek me. That way I can get some shots on him. And there he is right there. I accidentally hop in my vehicle again, but we get some shots on him there. And the way he unpeaks there kind of tells me that I'm not going to be able to kill him just by beaming him after I hop out, since he's going to unpeak really quick and not really commit to anything. So I kind of push up. I make sure to get the armor break before I push in, and just to be extra safe, I throw a stun and get the kill. The main thing with this gunfight is pretty much not taking risks. Even though I saw he was a pretty bad player, I made sure I got him weak and used a stun. And of course, as I say, don't take any risks. I hop out in the middle of the street and completely ego chow this guy. Now this guy was shooting at the vehicle, so he missed a couple shots on me, which kind of won me that gunfight. So I take the buggy to rotate out since the Jeep was already a little weak. And you're going to see me get absolutely ripped by this guy. And I pretty much had to seat swap and hit these shots, or else I would have died if I kept driving. And since the MG82 got nerfed, you're going to be put in these situations a lot less where it's more just about hitting your shots. You're going to be able to rotate out of there and replay it and reset the gunfight. So now we're pulling up to this player in the house. Again, I hate pushing staircases, so I'm trying to get him to peek a window. That way I can try and get him out the game that way. So I see he's upstairs, and I'm trying to narrow down where he's at. So I nade this window, because he might be in that corner. Since I got no hit marker, I pretty much know he's going to be on the staircase. And I also know with this building, there's a window to where I can see the top of the staircase. So I'm trying to get an angle on that. And you see him right there, just crouch walking, holding the staircase. So we get shots on him there. There's also a player behind me at the buy. I pull out my precision because I thought it was a UAV. So since he got in the house, I pretty much have to play this like every other engagement I get into. Wait for him to peek me. Now that he peeks, we're able to get shots on him. And I push him because I downed him, but I should have took the car because I ended up getting sniped from hangars. But it's okay, the guy from hangars doesn't have an angle on me. And the guy in the house doesn't know I'm down since he didn't down me. Obviously now he does because he hears the self-revive noise. So I throw a stun up to make sure he doesn't push me immediately. I hear him running to the corner and we're able to get the kill. So I was trying to hunt down the player that sniped me at hangars. I end up getting ripped by this guy in the building because he's got an MG82, so he just doesn't miss. We're able to get out of his line of sight though, and in a spot where we can still hold out one of the guys that makes it out of hangars. So once we get that kill from hangars, we're going to be able to play for a kill on the guy in the house. So we see him there. The Fara literally has no recoil, so we get that kill. So I swap out my Jeep for this buggy since my Jeep got absolutely torched by this guy's MG. And this Jeep's also a little bit weak, so I still have to be kind of smart about how I play this. I don't have too much room for error. So instead of hopping in the Jeep, or the buggy, I just ADS the windows so I'll be able to shoot wherever he peeks from. So he hops out. We get the armor break on him before he gets out of our line of sight. And now I'm kind of predicting where he's going to be. So I stunned the bottom of the ridge since I thought he'd be plating down there. He ends up rotating up a little bit, but he's still stunned when we peek him, so we get this kill. Now looking at this final zone, ideally I wanted to get up on the hill, since if I clear out the hill, I'll be able to just look down on the rest of the map and it'll be a free win. I wasn't able to do it since zone had already pushed in too far, so I just go back to hold in this ATC camper who was on my UAV earlier. Again, he's shooting the vehicle, so he's tunnel vision on the vehicle, and we're able to shoot him in the side. Now that guy in ATC ended up disabling our buggy, but this Jeep was kind of close to us, so we're able to grab this. And one thing with these end zones where there's just like a building end zone and you don't want to push it, you kind of just want to drive your car in a spot where you're kind of safe and no one's shooting at you. That way once the zone shrinks, you'll have an advantage because you'll be able to rotate a lot easier than most players. So I'm sitting on the top of the ridge just waiting for a zone to shift. Now that I see it's completely on the house, I'm pretty much forced to push in since there's nowhere else for me to drive around. And now, really quick, I'm going to pause it right here, and I'm going to walk you guys through how you want to be pushing staircases when you absolutely have to. So, with this staircase, I pretty much run to the top and then immediately run back to the bottom. A lot of people call it a jiggle peek, and it's used to pretty much bait out shots. That way you can kind of figure out where somebody is, and that way you can play it from there. You can throw a stun at him, because you know where they are now, or you can try and camera them with a slide cancel or a jump peek. So you're going to see, run up to the top, immediately run down. I see no shots, see no one's here, so we're clear to clear the rest of the building. So I didn't see or hear anything the whole time while I was in the building. Now the zone shifting and it's one-on-one. And when you're in a situation like this where you have no information on the last player, you kind of just want to expect the worst. So I'm expecting him to be on the hill to my north, since that would give him the high ground. We end up seeing him rotating in, and we have the high ground now. I bank a stun just to kind of ensure the kill, and it ends up being pretty easy. So here's the class setup one more time for you guys. This gun is without a doubt going to be the best gun in Warzone until the next update at least. If you guys learned something, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of more videos like this where I give you guys tips to become better players. So drop a subscribe so you don't miss any of that, and I'll see you guys next time.